Hi, this is Carl with the July news for the Small Biz Thoughts technology community. We have got an amazing July just for you, and in particular for new members. We're just going to kick it off right away with lots and lots of great information and new training materials that are members only. Somebody sent me an email recently and said, hey, it looks like the stuff you're doing with TCPIP and training on the basics is amazing and I want to be part of it, but I'm not a member. Is there any way that you can let me in? And I had to say, no. There are some things where you just have to be a member. And I know it costs money and I just can't do everything for free. The point of my membership community is that we've sort of reversed the math of the whole thing. Instead of charging you for every little bitty thing, we have one price and it includes everything. So when we add a brand new class, which we're going to do in August, you don't pay any extra for it. When we redo a class, you don't pay any extra for it. When we add a completely new training on TCPIP, you don't pay anything extra for it. And that's the way it's going to go. I was just talking to my daughter about a book that I'm writing, and she said, oh, and are you going to give that to people in the community or do they get it for a discount? And I said, no, they get it for free. That's the deal. That's the reason you join. That's the reason that people are members. Obviously, there's community. Community is an important part of the community, but it's also about the content and making sure that your business is as successful as possible. That's our goal. That's our mission statement for both IT Service Provider University and the Small Biz Thoughts technology community, is to make you as successful as possible. And I know it costs money, but let's be realistic. Go find another program that charges you less than $1,000 a month. Ours is $1,000, $1,200 a year. So, yes, it costs money, but we're doing everything we can to make the price as reasonable as possible so everyone can afford it. And, if you really have trouble struggling with that, please set up a Zoom call with me. I want to make you successful enough so that you can afford the $1,200 or $1,300 a year it takes to be a member. Now for the news. Our July guest for the Small Biz Thoughts Technology Roundtable is Paul Green from Paul Green's Marketing. He is a UK-based marketing consultant, and he does some really cool things, and I thought it would be fun to have him in there and say, okay, what are the new fun things that people are doing? What should people be doing that they're not doing? What do we see too much of? What do we see too little of? So forth and so on. The link is always in your dashboard, so just log into the Small Biz Thoughts technology community, and once you're on the inside, that's your dashboard, and there's a link there to the weekly call, and we use the same link for the weekly call as we do for the monthly roundtable, so just click on that. If you want to send us a question beforehand, there's a form there, so when we get to the Q&A section, your question will be first if you send it in beforehand, so just keep an eye on that. Now for that special training for TCPIP. I do have a training in the community already on the fundamentals of DNS. So we've got the fundamentals of DNS, and then we're going to do a complete training on July 5th. So this is literally next week, July 5th. We're going to do a training. It starts it'll be about an hour, but we'll go as long as it takes. So if you have lots of questions, we will go afterwards. It is the core, basic, fundamental understanding that you need for TCPIP. How packets are created, mathematically what we do, why you care, and sort of how does traffic move across the internet, across the globe, across the world? How does every technology that you use communicate? And then what we're going to do is at the end of July, towards the end of July, the 26th, we're going to do another TCPIP workshop, and this one is troubleshooting TCPIP. So when you take the first one, everyone on your team should have a core understanding of TCPIP, how it works and what it is. Then in the workshop at the end of the month, we're going to look at how you troubleshoot it. Like, what do you do first and what do you do second? What are some, some basic troubleshooting skills, but also specifically with TCPIP. When two subnet masks don't match, can you still communicate? It depends. So we're gonna look at that kind of stuff, because almost everything, as you already know, is about getting the specifics correct. You can't be close when it comes to an IP address. You can't be close when it comes to a domain name. So, the old saying everybody knows, it's always DNS. If all problems are DNS, I would tell you all DNS problems are typos, which means ultimately all problems are typos. When it comes to troubleshooting TCPIP, ultimately, all problems are also typos. So we're going to look at how you look at something with fresh eyes and make sure that you're taking care of the basics. So we're going to start with TCPIP basics, then we're going to go with basic troubleshooting for TCPIP. And then, wait, that's not all. August 16th, I have a third webinar posted, and that is the basics of building a network. So you don't have to take the first two classes or the one on DNS. You should, yeah. But let's just assume that you've got that basic understanding. The class on building a network is literally going to say, okay, what are the pieces? How do you put them together? Somebody hands you an empty office building and says, we need a new network, hook us up. What do? How do you architect it? What does that look like? Again, our goal is to have that foundational understanding so that everyone on your team has at least that level of knowledge. Now, the good news is, once you have that, you can build any knowledge you need with regard to networking. What is the hottest thing in technology today? Well, it's security, right? And when you get into security, it doesn't take very long, and pretty soon you have to understand how you open a packet, what it's supposed to look like on the inside. Make sure you got just the right number of zeros and just the right number of ones in the right order, right? So this is the foundation you need to build the next level and the next level and the next level of understanding. So if you're going to start with security, you literally have to start with how you put together a packet with TCPIP. So we're going to take all of that, and then when I'm done with it, I'm going to take the old DNS stuff and then the new classes and the workshops, all the handouts, and I'm going to put them into a brand new roadmap. So you'll have a fundamentals of TCPIP roadmap. And again, all of that is free if you're a community member. All of that is not available at any price if you are not a community member. Now, having said that, if you wanted me to put a price on it, the price I would put on it, starting July 1st, would be $1,299 a year. And then you get access to all of that training, which I assure you, you will get more than $1,299 worth of value for. If you're a member, you got it at the current price, and remember, your price won't go up July 1st. If you are a member, you are locked in for life at the price you joined. So don't worry about the price increases. Just worry about getting your team signed up for those classes on TCPIP. A final note, speaking of the word team, if you have a team membership and you've got all of your people engaged in training and certification and so forth, please get in touch with me. We want to help you, and we've already done this for several people. We want to help you manage your team through the training process at IT Service Provider University so that you've got the right people taking the right classes and the right certifications. And we want to help you excel as quickly as possible and have your entire team excel. Finally, last note of the month, starting July 11th, I'm going to have a brand new class on the absolutely unbreakable rules of service delivery. And to be honest, this is a class that every single person in your company could get value from. It is about why we do the things we do and why these simple rules, which are pretty easy to remember, will make everything in your company better. That'll make interpersonal relationships better. It will make customer service better. It will make billing better. It will make customer service better, so forth and so on. Everything in your company can be managed with a handful of rules that everyone can know and everyone can use, and everyone can keep each other accountable for. Again, that class is $399 to people who are not members. It's free if you're inside the community. So please sign up for that. Take advantage of that. Get value out of your membership. As you can tell, I am planning to be very, very busy in July. I am headed to TechFest, July 27th and 28th, and then I got a weekend and I'm going to find my way over to Vegas because August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, we're going to ChannelCon. You've all seen Robbie the robot, right? Famous TV star, movie star. Well, hush, Robbie. We are giving away this vintage robot, which, as you can tell, works, it walks, it talks, and we're going to have it in our booth at ChannelCon. Kara's going to be there, Jen's going to be there, I'm going to be there. We have some really super cool giveaways. We have some great signage. We got some great stickers. Please join us at ChannelCon. We're going to put the link down below, but it's also in your newsletter. So check your newsletter for links for all of the things we mentioned, the trainings, the webinars, and so forth. It's all in your Small Biz Thoughts Technology Community newsletter. And with that, I say, have a spectacular July, and Robbie and I will see you in August.
For your convenience, I am monitored to respond to the name Robbie.
Have a great month.